All right, everybody, welcome back to the Nanyang Championship Season 2. This is Game 3 of Digital Chaos versus Team Empire. I'm Baseskip. Joining me is Lyrical. Hopefully he's back.
Hey, how's it going? It's a wonderful time. Dota 2, DC, Empire, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how this draft goes. Because, like you said, at the end of the previous game, I feel like DC hasn't really been 100% comfortable with any of the drafts so far. So we'll see how this one goes and gets through into the pool. But Elder Titan is going to be grabbed up early by Empire, so they've got the opportunity to run a very similar lineup to what they did in Game 1 if they want.
Yeah, this is sort of a little bit of a scary situation for me, and I'm kind of curious why did DC opted to not take it. Last time around, they gave it away to Empire. Empire instead opted to go for, or rather, they banned it out, and Empire went for the Void. I guess this gives DC the Void this time, but I don't know. As long as DC don't run Morphlane, I think I'm okay with it. They just need to not take those heroes that are countered by the first pick of Empire.
Yeah, I feel like Empire is still alright having this ET against the Void, just because, ET's specialty is counter-negating and just throwing a spirit into the Chronosphere to potentially catch the Void and prevent him doing his thing is good. And now I guess the question for DC is whether or not they want the Phoenix. I talked about in the draft of the previous game, ET can get a decent answer to Phoenix because of cancel Sunray, so see if they go for it. It's still strong, even if you are at risk of having your canceled.
Yeah, and I guess that isn't always necessarily like the worst part about it too for him. Like he can still get stuff done. Like in the early game, ET still is going to be a bit of a bother, but Icarus Dive means that he's less susceptible to getting killed off to the ET. And like sometimes we see that dual aggressive off lane with an Elder Titan and maybe like a Slardar or something like that. So Phoenix is not going to end up always having to be in a ton of trouble from that one, whereas other heroes might be. I wouldn't mind a Disruptor out of DC either if they want to go that route. We've seen that combination be pretty strong as well.
Yeah, they're really taking up some of their reserve time here. I think they're really trying to decide how the rest of the draft is going to look, and in the end, they just decide to fish for some more information and make the decision a little bit later on. I like the Lion for a couple of reasons. I think it's a very comfortable hero for Misery, and we were talking about the drafts maybe looking a little bit uncomfortable, especially in Game 1. Also, it helps to give them some options if Empire do end up deciding to pick the Terrorblade here. If they want the TB, then at least they've got Lion to be able to pop some of the illusions immediately, and Finger Death is always really nice burst damage to have to prevent him getting that Sunder off. So it looks like they're going to pass it back to Empire after taking some time thinking and trying to get more information here.
There's going to be that TB, and like you were saying, being able to take care of the illusions. I feel like Elder Titan and Terrorblade is just such a potent combination. I don't know. I almost feel like I'd be more afraid of that than the Darkseer and the Riki, but maybe DC have something in mind for this next draft that we're not thinking about. If they wanted to, they could go back for a Draw Ranger, a little bit less likely to be something that they would go for, so they put out the Vengeful Spirit themselves. But it's a possibility. The TB is also a great ban right there. I feel like that's one of the better heroes at dealing with the Terrorblade.
Yeah, and I feel like Empire have been putting a lot of pressure on Wii in all of these games so far. Kind of lots in the draft in Game 1, kind of Game 2. It sort of let him get his Invoker, but at the same time, there were some caveats. There was the Faceless Void, who was always going to be an issue. And I think the biggest thing that we've seen is that Miposhka has really not let up on the mid lane at all. All 3 games, I'm expecting the same kind of play from him here on the Elder Titan. He's been running around, he's been putting pressure on mid, and really, we haven't really been able to snell the way that he sometimes does. And yeah, you see it here in the draft to get rid of the Timber, get rid of the Invoker, force you onto a less comfortable hero.
Yeah, and if they wanted to, I wouldn't mind a DP. I feel like that Void Death Prophet combo is always something that can work pretty well. Granted, not as great against the Terrorblade with the Exorcism doing the physical damage, but you still got, the Veil build that you can go for, and Crypt Swarm kills off those illusions, at least at the point of the game where I mean, Terrorblade getting huge is not what should be happening in that type of game. But instead, for now, Digital Chaos are going to go for that Phoenix that we were talking about earlier. So another way to rip through those, pretty nicely picked up. And I do still wonder what it is that they're going to go for that Weeha hero. With already a lot of mid laners banned, I kind of feel like they need to take it forth. Otherwise, they're going to be left with not a lot of options.
Yeah, I think the Death Prophet that you've been talking about could be quite prefer to see it potentially with the support. I was thinking something along the lines of going for the like a Dazzle, a Death Prophet potentially, but I think they just want more ways to deal with the illusions, and Phoenix is certainly good at that. So can't really look past the hero here. But Empire still has a lot of different directions that they could take. Absolutely. And all right, it's gonna be an Oracle. I wonder what it's gonna end up leading into. There's a couple of things to mention about Oracle Terrorblade. One nice thing especially is being able to nuke TB before he sunders, so not only do you drop his HP, then he sunders, and then he gets to keep the region's buff afterwards. So I think that's look at here. Also good at dispelling the line to prevent the lockdown. But I feel like we see one other combo potentially the Oracle here.
Yeah,
Not sure what it's going to be.
It is a little bit different. The other nice thing, obviously, is that with the ET, you're going to naturally be able to give him, just the full amount of damage on the side of DC, that full 360, and then the heals, you can purge that off afterwards. So Oracle becomes a pretty high damage dealing hero in the early stages. And the other nice thing, of course, is False Promise. It allows you for easy setup for the Sunder if you get him as TB is going low, and then a long time to make it happen. And DC are going to go back for the Drow Ranger again. So feeling like this is the way they want to play it. You've got Faceless Void there to be able to get the lockdown. We mentioned that this is something they could go for. How do you feel like the matchup goes as far as timings and when they hit between the Terrorblade and the Drow Ranger? Do you have to be concerned that you have to like finish the game early for Digital Chaos, or what's the dynamic there?
I don't think they're necessarily in a rush because DC still have some pretty good lockdown between the Void and the Lion. They're both a little bit. I would be, TB is probably the better late game hero of the two. But then again, the Drow Ranger can also go for, kind of the Maelstrom Ags, which gives good more opportunity to clear out the illusions from the TB, so he's less of a threat.
Mm-hmm.
They're to talk about an outside and really on how the game goes and what kind of position the two heroes find themselves in. And this might not even end up going late. Team gets ahead early. We've got amazing heroes on both sides to just destroy buildings if you win a lopsided team fight.
And there it is. Empire take the 4th pick Brood, and not a lot of answers to it already. There's the classic Broodmother 5th pick that ends up really causing trouble, but I feel like even at this point, Afterlife can do so much on this hero to cause trouble for Digital Chaos, and they really don't have an answer as of yet. They've already got Faceless Void there. Do you need to think about running Drow Ranger mid and pick up an Axe or something, or maybe even think about running Axe mid?
It's a tough call. The other options include something like trying to dodge the Broodmother's lane and just put your Void over there and have the Lion Phoenix Drow run down towards bottom. They may or may not be successful in the tri-lane versus tri-lane, depends on whether or not they get the whole blocked out and the initial couple of waves end up going. But I don't think you want to put the Drow mid. I think that's the one thing that they're going to try and avoid doing here, if at all possible.
It could be rough. They're going to take the Ember Spirit out for the moment, another hero that can deal with Broodmother somewhat effectively, and still they do have the mid hero to come out from Team Empire. We'll see what it ends up being. I wouldn't mind something like a Puck again for the nice ability to control. Maybe then you end up having heroes that fall off a little bit too early, and that's something else to be concerned about, is that Broodmother does have that problem, and they are going to take the DK, and it's that big tanky force, the bonus armor to help them against the right clicks that are going to be coming from DC. I still like DP here to some extent.
Yeah, I think it's really not bad. The burst on Empire is okay, but not amazing, so you can probably keep your Death Prophet alive. I don't mind Dragon Knight pickup. It just gives them even more tower damage. The DK also not a bad hero to pick up a Blink Dagger or a Shadow Blade to be able to get in against Faceless Void of the Drow. And I think that's the one big thing we were looking for with this last pick from Empire, was that they needed some kind of initiation, some kind of patch, because that's what they didn't have. And I think the worked, but Dragon Knight kind of fulfilled the same role to a lesser extent.
Well, and with the Storm Spirit last pick now, it's feeling like DC want to try and snowball as much as possible, but they need to be careful about this Broodmother in the laning stage. If they're just rotate down there, I mean, I think that they could even conceivably just go against the Broodmother straight up, and if Empire don't send help, then could still get taken out.
Oh yeah, I think they could definitely just try and fight the Brood right from level 1. If they pick the first blood, you know, they bring enough detection. They do have the opportunity to get a kill on the Brood right from the start and kind of pressure her a little bit. But we'll have to see. I think this is a pretty decent Broodmother game. I think the Storm Spirit last pick also helps to address the Brood a little bit, just because they always have that potential for a long range jump in. The Storm can be carrying dust, and you can find kill that way.
Well, we're gonna wait real quickly to see how my connection is. Obviously, it's not the easiest thing. It's a little awkward doing play-by-play, or not doing play-by-play, but doing the camera work. So if it's ends up being that I have a pretty good connection, we'll switch over. But otherwise, we'll be sticking with the most wonderful base kit cam ever. So we are getting the call for go, and this is always the lottery. Throw the dice, everybody lucky. Looking okay for the moment, but I don't want to tempt fate too early. And if it's there, then we'll switch. But
Start of the laning phase. Misery with the early TB out wants to just get an early ward down potentially. I think he's just trying to block any TP here themselves, but he wants to make sure that they have access to the pole camp, especially important with the Phoenix game, so that he can get his levels up and still be relevant in the game, especially because the Faceless Void, the big combos game is the Void Phoenix. They didn't really grab many other heroes to combo up with him, and given that he's off-lane Faceless Void, you know, he's not really doing a whole lot of damage himself. They need the Phoenix to be in a decent position so that the Void can still get value out here.
This is something that we saw the other day, actually out of KP previously, where he was running the offline Faceless Void, hid in the trees, actually time-locked into them so that way he could pull the creep wave past. So kind of an interesting little way to see it, and it ended up working for him, where he was able to... Actually, he got killed, so it didn't work for him. But I don't know if they would have enough burst damage to actually be able to finish them off here. Looks like he should be able to get the creep wave pull pretty easily.
He's pinging it, planning. Up process. Alright, so quick looks like it's going to be bounty rune a piece. Afterlife has some sentry wards ready to try and munch the opposing sentries with his tangos. Do we actually have a dust for DC? We do. Alright, so dust over on Misery. So try and get the immediate kill on the Broodmother here.
I need to wait until we see the first right click get thrown, and then I'll have a good idea, because it's all about the sort of
projectiles and stuff like that.
Exactly, that's the signal usually. It's relatively smooth right now, but we will see, as Moo is going to end up hopping out of here in a second. He probably wants to tango out, so that way he doesn't have to use up his... Oh, he did.
He just walked in.
Oh, nice.
Wait, he's considering like tangoing that tree and then stealing right there. Looks like he's just gonna run around instead. See the supports. I think he saw the supports off to the east side, so...
Oh, good stuff. Trying to get the pulls is going to be able to make it happen, and Fortune's End coming out. It does look like it's going to end up keeping him at bay for the moment, but he should still be fine. There's going to be the stop, not going to connect. But the creepids actually head off. They run away. All right, let's do the switch. I think looking good for this game.
Okay, nice. I'm actually liking it a little bit.
All right, cool. We'll be back in just a second, everybody. Stick around.
All right, I'm ready to go whenever.
All right. Hello and welcome back, everybody. We've been able to do it in Nanyang Season 2. Meanwhile, up at the top lane, a little bit of a kill coming their way. Afterlife is not going to go down. But we can already see the damage coming out with the sentry wards there. It is a possibility for them to find a kill in this lane, so need to be very, very careful.
Yeah, and despite not successfully getting the steal bottom for... He has still completely mess up the lane equilibrium. It looks like Ramsey's did a pretty good job of kind of getting things back to where they should be, especially exploring the fact that there's a double range creep on the DC side, and yeah, Moo actually not going to end up getting too much out of it.
Oh, it's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, that jump away ended up not being able to give him the full pull off to the side. But I'm really liking what they're doing so far against Afterlife here, this Broodmother. I mean, Moo is having a tough time, but at least gotten a little bit of experience, while Afterlife has been left completely alone. But it's going to be able to get a little bit here. What's the point where Broodmother ends up becoming a bit obnoxious? Is it just the level 2 even, as Moo is going to run away bottom? Or what's the point where he can really start to cause issues?
I don't think she has a crazy amount of kill potential this lane before, say, like, level 5. She's just annoying the whole way, just kind of sitting up here and making the supports stay on this lane and kind of stay with the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight is pretty difficult to find, but just the fact that Tyrion likes to have to spend all of their time up here is going to be very annoying. And after with some nice little plays, put down the sentry behind the tree so that Misery wouldn't be able to get rid of it, you know, within the sentry that ended up being eaten.
And this is now the second time also Moo done the little run around the jungle to make sure that he's able to get the experience from over here. So both offlaners making good use of the defensive capabilities of their heroes. But Broodmother is the one that's getting a little bit more out of this lane, and this is probably, I'm imagining, going to be slightly more static. With the exception of Maposhka heading towards mid, who does have level 2 available. They are going to go now onto Afterlife, and might be able to find this kill. Body blocks are there, and the right click coming out as well. That's going to be first blood. Misery ends up taking it. Well played. Oh, and denies the haste turn back mid. Nicely done there by Weeha.
Yeah, that haste night was actually up for a while. We're talking about 3 minutes 10, with neither hero wanting to go and grab it, but I guess they're both waiting for their bottle to make kind of a move. So, for now, for what Moo has done, he kind of went for a bit of not only a gambit in that he tried for the creep steal, but also kind of in his item build a little bit here, in some trouble. Good.
Oh my goodness. Yep, sorry about that. I was double checking to make sure that the stream was all going and ended up missing a kill. Yeah, Oasis boy gets brought down. What was that? Just the Echo Stomp combination with Meta?
Yeah, I just got caught by the stomp run down with the Time Walk cooldown. But yeah, this is something really tough for a move, because the other thing to point out is not only did he missed the creep steal and didn't get the instant level 2, he's also picked up performance shield instead of just trying to go for an Iron Talon. Get you in the lane and go to jungle. So I think his plan was very much, okay, the amount of regen, I'm going to seal away, I'm going to get level 2, which is going to get me immediately and my poor man's shield, and then I'll be able to fight the support. If the Oracle tries to zone me out, it's not going to do any damage against poor man's shield. I can just run up and I can try and hit him, and you can start just, you know, trading it very efficiently with your Time Walk, but has not ended up working out that way. Now he doesn't really have anything to fall back on, unfortunately. That's the talent. So it looks like he's just gonna have to kind of just sit around here and soak what he can. Often you kind of see it, but supports are unfortunately both almost 3. So actually man fight them is like.
This is such a frustrating game, and I guess really what it comes down to is this is like the old off-lane build. This is what used to happen. You'd sometimes actually get zoned out and not get any amount of CS. It's still 0-0 at this point. Not able to contest the farm of Ramses. I'm not exactly sure how Moo recovers from this one at this point, outside of just continuing to get that passive gold. Do you think he goes back for an Iron Talon at this stage, or what's the read?
Yeah, I think probably check for it. He needs the levels from there. They could potentially, like, this goes into the jungle because he's picking the levels and he is going for the top X build.
Afterlife. They're gonna be able to find that kill, I assume. Right click. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, but with Wee going for the Remnant Max build, he's kind of knowing that he's going to be jungling a little bit more, so he might be able to take a bit once we head to jungle, but kind of the other avenue from the thing I really wanted Empire is Ramsey with control and getting the wave right back in position, and with only a single wave going either way as quickly as he did after the initial initial steal. I don't know if there was any. I think King R was helping out a little with his knives, but even if you just look at Ramsey's CS right now, 42 and 24, really pristine from him.
Yeah, he's been playing a good game, and you do see now that, like you're talking about, Wee heads over there and clears out a hard camp, but Moo has just had such a difficult time of it and might even end up going down. Oh my goodness. It was almost a kill, but was able to time walk before it ended up coming about, and now there's just no great answer here. Ramsey's going to be able to run down this tower, and I think that this is going to be a 6.5 minute tier 1 going down.
Yep, looks like a very easy grab. Moo is going to do his best to stick around here and grab the next wave that should hopefully be coming in. I think King R could potentially run this side pull. He might even get back in time to do it here if he's a tango. No, I'm just going to run that into the river instead. Alright, but there's at least one more wave of experience coming Moo's way, but Ramsey's is making him fight for it.
Yeah. God, it's so frustrating as an offlaner. You want to be able to get there and make sure you get every last little bit of CS possible, but at least on the one side, he hasn't died in this lane. Only that one time. Whereas you look at the Broodmother, died twice. Not the worst in the world, but it feels like both offlaners have not really gotten what they wanted out of this. Now they need to be careful, though. With level 5 on the Broodmother and Soul Ring online, they can certainly make stuff happen.
Yeah, I think the Brood's game plan is still very much on track in terms of got our levels. Eventually, these supports probably lane so the Brood can start pressuring, take out the tier 1 tower. But for Moo, he just needs to. He's kind of full recovery mode right now.
Weehaw got an invis rune mid, but there's no great way to kill off that Dragon Knight, unfortunately, and Maposhka is not going to come and try and
Afterlife again.
This. Oh my goodness, they find a kill. He had infused raindrops even, but wasn't able to escape from that one.
And the Lion didn't even really do anything. Looks like he auto attacked and just mana drained, and that was it. It was just the Phoenix and the Charger running it down.
Scary. Terrorblade is going to get a really good time on his Dragonlance here, but you can see Kimar is actually just doing a ridiculous amount of damage to Moo, and they might be able to take down the tier 2 tower here even. Nobody is moving to respond. They are finally going to bring the Lion over. Metamorphosis has already been popped. That's going to be a dead Oracle. Comes in for the kill. Nicely played there, and they kill off one illusion. Ramsey's still very, very strong in this lane, though, and Moo needs to be careful. My goodness.
Yeah, I think that he was just... I think he thought he was safe. The infused raindrop. Otherwise, he could have face edicted himself as he was running around that corner and blocked it, but would have been a pretty big play. Finger on cooldown now. I think Empire have to feel a little bit more bold. Gonna come in and push towards this run on the mid lane. At least the Phoenix has some alright levels, so they've got the Sunray to kind of defend.
Yeah, and Storm Spirit also has had a pretty good time of it so far. He's even on CS with that Dragon Knight, and as far as net worth is concerned, he's fairly far up there. They just need to be able to make something happen against Ramses fairly soon here, and I think that they're going to be able to. It feels this Storm Spirit draft with the Drow Ranger and a Chronosphere eventually coming online. There's pieces there that I think it deals with what Empire is going to be doing. Oh, kills off a lot of spiders up top too with Weehaw.
This looks like they're going to swap things out. Resolution's going to take over mid lane, but Wee is going to be the answer to Brood for a while. Even as a electric vortex, pick this up with only 2 minutes in the overload. I think just wanting to have that little bit of extra kill potential. So after still have to be careful, even though the Drow Rangers left the lane, still going to be hunting for him. Misery coming up with another dust.
Ooh, they send the courier very far forward, but yeah, it's the dust for Misery, and they can find a kill if the Broodmother steps too far here. And you know, being able to deny the Broodmother the ability to take that tier 1 tower for a good bit of time here, this is really strong for DC. They're in a pretty good position. And I don't think that... do you go Orchid if you're Afterlife?
It's a pretty good Orc game. The Phoenix, Void, and the Storm Spirit, but he will consider it. Mafoshka stepping up pretty far here.
Oh, there's the Electric Vortex, and that should be the kill. He just was an easy kill for them. And no great way to stop it either.
I don't know what he was leading to. accomplished. He looked at Wii and just realized there wasn't a lot of mana, and thought he could just go for it.
Mid lane, Scandal gets caught by the Chronosphere. Ramses actually walks into it. A little bit of an odd decision there. They end up throwing out the Dragon Tail. Scandal still very tailoredly, and they end up being able to kill off the Drow Ranger, but Phoenix takes down DK, and Ramses is going to be able to finish off the tier 1. Up in the top lane, Broodmother runs down Storm Spirit out of mana, and nobody there to help him. So 2 dead mid, a tier 1 tower gone, and this timing for Empire is hitting very strong right now.
Yeah, I think Ramses wanted Thunder, but he was just a little far into the Chrono to get him. So that's why he face tanked it there. But yeah, for the Brood, going to be a tier 1 tower going down, even a little bit of damage into the tier 2. That looks good with the Chrono start things off for them. They just quite have damage that they needed to DK fast enough, got a couple of spells off, and
I think Scandal accidentally canceled this TP or is gonna, I guess, decide to go mid since Maposhka's heading down here bottom to try and get his level 6. And actually might end up paying for it too. Mu is here as well as Misery, and they can maybe find this kill. He has infused Raindrop, so it's going to be tough. If they don't have Finger of Death, then that's a lot of damage coming out. They do end up getting the kill, and that's a nice little bonus there for Mu. What you want to have happen. Oh, and now King R also in a little bit of trouble. The right clicks are there. The damage, is he going to end up popping in the fountain? It looks like he might. He does go down. But that means they deny out a little bit of experience to the Phoenix there.
Okay, so DC firing back quickly. Storm Spirit really nicely. This Terrorblade is looking pretty scary. Ram's already had a 2k gold of land, so the Asha coming out, and I guess they have decent answers to him, however, so it's not as though a farm Terrorblade is just the be-all end all this game.
Yeah, it's sort of what I was feeling about it as well, is that always going to have the Chronosphere available. If capable of getting a little bit of farm, then Blink Dagger up eventually. They've got answers, and I do think that even though Storm Spirit has fallen out of favor in the meta, he does still provide a tremendous amount late game. I think people forget about how great this hero can be once you get the amount of farm, and that part of him has never really changed. It's just the snowballing to that stage, which has been more and more difficult.
Yeah, his laning stage got so much harder, but once you get to your Bloodstone, you're sort of the same. Obviously did suffer a couple of nerfs onto the lightning and things as well, but I mean, once you have enough mana regen, doesn't really do much.
Oh, Misery might end up going down here, and yeah, this is gonna end up being a kill. He throws out a Hex, but not really anything to follow that up. It is 4 heroes that rotate towards the bottom lane for this, and they are going to be able to push down the tier 2 tower while simultaneously the Broodmother is pushing along the top. So good decision here from Empire. I'm curious to see how they respond to this on the side of DC. Wu does have a Chronosphere still available if they want to drop it, and they might need to respond rather rapidly. Phoenix is here as well, so Supernova as well as Sunray is available. But they're not going in at that. Gandalf just looks to be getting this tower for free.
Yeah, only the DK ult extended. There's Metamorphosis up their sleeve as well if it happens to break out, so always nice to have that. Afterlife did end up going back for some phase boots here. The one thing that I was going to mention when we were talking about the Broodmother is that while it is a really good Orchid game, and I think he's going to go for it, I am personally a really big fan of kind of Broodmother, the Admiral Bulldog sort of battle brood, where he goes for the Excavator and accepts some right-click items and just really gets involved. And the team gets past a certain point, but I don't know. This is just too good an Orchid game to pass up. Could still go back for the Echo.
Yeah, definitely. They are going to spot him out now, and he is not going to end up sticking around for that much longer, as Weehaw could definitely kill him off very rapidly, particularly with Finger of Death being online for Misery. Still waiting to see that counterplay. I feel like DC are not comfortable losing all their towers, but it's not terrible. They still have I think they have better team fight than Empire, as long as they can control that Terrorblade.
And the good thing is with Scandal with Blink Dagger, that's where he manages to get in and blow up moves. They do have a little bit of initiation from Saxa, essentially, with the Sunray, But I think if they remove the chrono from the fight, that they can get very, very difficult.
Brood did go first, so that is the play. There's the Chronosphere drop now onto Ramses. They have Supernova already dropped down as well, and a lot of damage. He does end up being able to get that false promise off, and not sure if he's going to be able to survive through that. Oh my god, dropped solo, but not dead. 200 HP jump in from Weehaw, trying to find the kill that's under him. Scandal ends up getting brought very low, but he's going to arm with toggle away. So a really good combination there, and now stunned for the moment. Misery is going to fall. Oh man, what a play.
Oh, and Scandal had a regen rune as well, so he's right back to full.
Oh no.
Oh, that was so nice from That
was really, really good stuff. Man, I can't believe that they just did that. And again, the Oracle saving him at the last moment there. This is going to be a jump up on these spiders in the top lane. Weehaw wants to stop the split push, but now maybe a little bit too far afoot. He's in a lot of trouble. This is his 12 Bloodstone charges. He's trying to turn to Afterlife. The rest of the team is coming in. He needs to get the heck out of dodge. Scandal gets the stun. They need to heal him back up, but he is going to go down. Bloodstone suicide. And that really sucks. Just getting that Bloodstone online.
Yeah, already the 8 charges. Now Empire, another tower it looks like. Drow Ranger has only taken one build 17 minutes into this game.
Oh man, and Resolution trying to find a chase here. This is going to be a Storm Spirit back up. He jumps on top of Scandal, and they are going to be able to find one. Looking for a bit more. Out of mana, can they kill off King R in time? They bring him low, and he is going to drop. So well played there by Weehaw, but again, I don't know if this is quite enough here. Afterlife might just kill off Soxley. He needs to be careful. Does have tick charges, not going to be able to pop him in time. Do they have any dust available? They don't have any reveal. Oh no.
It was really nice by Afterlife. The one to mention, like I said here, is that getting a double hit against Supernova can be very, very powerful. So, good decision to go for this. Still end up on control. He can still end up back for like a bash or BKB or something, and still run into the fights and still relevant. I like the item build. Boo has obviously nice. They can start getting towards towers, towards Aurora, but Empire doing pretty well for themselves, you know.
Yeah, definitely. It's not as tremendous of a net worth lead as it feels like maybe it should be. 2K roughly right now. Not going to end up getting hit there. But the problem that I do see is normally you can say that that's an okay position to be in because Empire can't break the base. But this lineup certainly can break the base with Empire. You've got Terrorblade, who takes towers incredibly rapidly from ranged form. You've got Dragon Knight now also, who is going to be able to just go into that ultimate and tear it down. And then the Elder Titan in Chinese Dota for a long time, known as the base breaker, excuse me. Just with that Echo Stomp being able to set up so many great combinations, so they've got all of the pieces that they need. Digital Chaos are going to have to take a fight before they end up having to defend the high ground, I feel like, but it's simultaneously so hard because that's their strongest, is when they end up having the high ground defense.
Yeah, they really need the blink move, I think, so that they can catch more than one target reliably, because if you can get the Oracle as well,
trying to run away, but he's out of mana now. Doesn't have anything. Oh no. There's nobody showing on the map. I mean, obviously they've really hemmed in the vision right here of DC, but I don't know. That sucked. That was too bad.
Radiant's can't hit, but everybody is inside the pit right now, so couldn't reveal anybody. Fortunately, they might not be able to give the Aegis to Storm, which really sucked because Storm just earlier in the game, but couldn't risk leaving it there.
Unfortunate part right now is that you do have the Elder Titan Spirit already out there. They're trying to keep them at bay for a moment. Storm Spirit's back up, and with the Aegis online, they have bought themselves some more time. So what's the item that allows DC to get back into this and really start taking these fights? They used to hit all their combos together. Do you think it's just Moo hitting a good Chronosphere? What's your read on the situation?
I think it's the blink so that Moo can hit a good Chronosphere. How does he jump to Afterlife?
Alright, Weehaw. He's pissed. Makes it happen.
And I don't think there was some vision over there. So I get the jump all the way in. Okay. Still a little bit low on Bloodstone charges, unfortunately, after those last couple of deaths. So that's going to slow down his farm rate. a bit, but it looks like he's keen to try and make something happen with their Aegis. You are starting to see the effect of the Broodmother kind of on the DC supports somewhat. Saxo only level 8 now. Or I think if the Phoenix was like an easier offlane, he would have run Pulse and would be closer to 11 at this time. Even that he's up the, I think a lot of it is because he's forced to run around and not sit in the lane farm. Also because Mood did poorly in the offlane, so that they didn't have this Void hitting into the jungle early and the Phoenix taking over the offlane to get it levels.
Yeah, that is definitely a big part of it. Also, I feel like though they are starting to hit their stride a little bit with at least the damage, and you never want to have your entire strategy predicated on a Chronosphere, but they're finding a couple of these pickoffs too with, Weehaw jumping in on the Storm Spirit. It looks like he's going to be going back now for the Orchid potentially, and
yeah.
That's again going to find another way for them to take these initiations, but it's still, nothing comes easy at this point.
Yeah, the Orchid just gives him more opportunities to jump into that. Potentially, it could potentially silence the Oracle, go on the Titan, and then kill T without any potential for the Oracle to save. That would help to alleviate the burden on Wu a little bit, so that he doesn't have to get 2 or 3 man Chronosphere. He can just get a Chrono on the core, and then Storm can pass the Chrono and look for the trying to fight in the background. It's going to be a bit difficult to coordinate, but I think these can do it.
Resolution jumped upon. They do go on to King R, like you were saying. There's the Chronosphere, only hit onto 1. The King R already dead Oracle, and now knocking a lot out of it. They end up losing the Lion. Moo might also go down as well. Oh man, that was not the initiation that they needed, and Resolution is going to get caught now as well. Brought down, Aegis in hand. Weehaw's just trying to cut the creep wave at this stage, realizing there's not really going to be any way for them to save Rezo, and he does die. But all you can really do at this point is try and play it like an anti-mage a little bit for Weehaw and cut these creep waves.
Yeah, they went for that, but I guess Phoenix didn't have enough mana or something. Didn't end up with Supernova or anything. Just kind of backed out, it looks like. And it was not a fun fight for DC. They lose the Aegis. They do get some more, do get some farm over on me. But he's the big hope, I think, for DC at this point. And he needs to really get the ball rolling. Solo kills eventually with this Orchid now grabbed.
The ball rolling with ball lightning. Mm-hmm. I like it. Good puns. It's good stuff. Socks with that here on the bottom lane is going to be able to finish off his Hand of Midas as well. So, still a good way. And I feel like if this game goes on longer, DC, it's not necessarily that they're going to have the advantage late game, but it becomes easier than it is right now, at the very least. That it's not as one-sided into the favor of Empire in all of these team fights, because you're going to start to be able to, get a good amount of damage and mana regeneration out of Storm, hopefully, as he jumps on top of Maposhka, trying to find a kill, and that's what we're talking about. A quick and easy one there for Weehaw. And you got to be careful if you're on the side of Empire now.
Yeah, Maposhka is getting pretty close to finishing his Yule Scepter, so he'll have some more counterplay available against each jumps from Weeb. Just didn't quite have it for that one. I'm still wondering if the Drow Ranger is going to end up going for the Ags build, or if that's a little bit too cheesy. Maybe he feels a little bit slot limited here and feels like he just needs to go and finish up the Manta, Butterfly, Titanic. Maybe he's an MKB at some stage, depending on item grabs from the rest of Team Empire. So maybe we won't be seeing it this game.
I wouldn't mind the Ags Mjolnir is pretty cool, but also Hurricane Pike is another one that I'm still waiting to see. As a sort of a little bit of a mobility thing. It's not the best in the world, but it sometimes can help get away from those stomps that come out. Plus the bonus attack speed's not bad either, but I don't know if that's really going to be in the cards this time around. It does feel like they need some ability to stand up to the ridiculous amount of DPS that this Terrorblade is outputting. But I don't know, it's going to be tough as they're moving in for the high ground here.
Yeah, I think Pike is going to be important, especially since he can't ever really go toe-to-toe with the TB or the Dragon Knight this game. They just take the high ground. Empire straight up there.
Oh, good Chronosphere catches onto 2. Scandal dropping low. They're going to go in the background. Out of Makoshka, bringing him down, but Scandal gets the false promise on through. Very low. They kill off the egg with that Echo Saber, and a really very scary fight as 3 are dead on the side of Empire, but Ramsey's still up and in charge. I mean, maybe they can do something here with Wii, but I feel like Ramses with this DD rune is just going to be able to run him down. Look at the damage. They get the catch, and that's the kill. Oh my god, tremendous amount, and 500 a pop. I don't know what we was thinking there.
And can they finish the melee here? They want it. Afterlife still just running interference.
Trying to keep him at bay for the moment. That is Metamorphosis. Are you going to be able to take them? Nice little play there. That was a Sunder as well used, Manta style. Keep them back for the moment. Afterlife still going to be hexed, and that does look like Melee Barracks is going to fall. So they end up being able to take it. Maybe they can take down the Spider. She does end up falling. But with that resolution, and it's such a hard game right now.
That was so unfortunate for Sack just diving into the side of the Chrono.
Oh, getting chased down. They have the spirits. Can he hit him? He brought so low. Alright, sorry about that. Oh my god, there's Weehaw. He's upset. Can he get into range? He's so slow. Oh no, they're not going to be able to find him. He does have some mana regeneration, can go for another zip, but it's not going to be in the cards.
Oh, that's rough. Alright, so 1 lane of Rex down. Yeah, so going back to talking about that fight, Sax had decided, okay, I'm not going to Sunray the Chrono, I'm just going to dive in, I'm going to get my Supernova off, and then we'll get the perfect stun coming out of the Chronosphere, but dives into the Chrono, still manages to get Supernova off, but unfortunately, Fire just, everybody survived through and kind of went from there. That's the one big that we're seeing, that while the Stormsphere is a nice answer to the Brute, and I think it's really a pretty good hero game, it's just not amazing with the Brute. You can't really do a whole lot with the Chrono.
Yeah, I mean, you do a lot of damage with Remnants there and the rolls, like, with the Overload procs, it's not quite that great combination as of yet. That's part of the reason why I still do feel like the Drow Ranger Aghanim's might be the item that ends up turning it around, because it does give you a tremendous amount of DPS increase in an AoE. But I don't know, we'll see how they end up going for it. That is a roll in on towards Scandal in the mid lane, and that's going to be a kill. So the DK falling, this is significant. I mean, Weehaw, we said it, this is the way back into the game, is through the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, he just needs to keep the fights uneven, either by finding a pick-off before they start, or finding a pick-off immediately as they can.
Chrono, there. They throw out the Earth Spike as well to do that. There's the Sun right now. A lot of damage, Supernova. They get the silence onto both with the Gust. But I don't think that they can stick around now. They need to get out. Nice blink away by Misery before the right click came through. Resolution trying to do the damage they can. Oh god, they caught the bird, and yeah, Phoenix is dead now. They can't stick around here. Gotta get out of here.
Oh, that was just a little too far to dive for the team. I think that would have been alright had we not just killed the Dragon Knight right before, and didn't have a whole lot of mana left in the tank as he was running over, so just a bit of a misstep from DC. It hurt so much. They used the Chrono, they used the Supernova, everybody in Empire is back alive now. Fortunately for DC, the Metamorphosis was used, so there won't be meta for 90 seconds, and looks like they're gonna go relatively unpunished for not having all of their abilities available right now, but Empire are still farming up. We've got a Scotty now online on the Fairblade. And this Broodmother is going to be really scary as we move towards the late game. She's got a Vlad, she's got a BKB, can very easily get into the lines on these fights and make things happen.
Well, and the not often thought about part is Afterlife gets stuck in the trees for a second, is how much damage Insatiable Hunger actually ends up doing. 100% lifesteal and 120 bonus damage. That is very significant. It's pretty ridiculous how much it actually gives you there. So even though he doesn't have a lot of damage items, it's just inherently built into that hero. Not to mention the Incapacitating Bite.
Yeah. And we're kind of talking about how we were looking for more combo heroes for the Oracle this game at the tail end of the draft, but Empire actually kind of ended up getting it. The Broodmother with the lifesteal being doubled by the ultimate, and even just Dragon Knight with the Dragon being doubled as well. They're not the traditional combos that you think about for the Oracle, where it's normally like the Death Prophet and the Alchemist, but both of them get a lot of value from the Promise this game.
Well, we've been talking about it all game. Resolution picks it up. Draw Rain Magnum Scepter, a little bit more tankability, and a hell of a lot more damage. We'll see how this ends up working in the middle of a Chronosphere, but that's all predicated also upon them actually being able to hit these Chronospheres, and it looks like, at least for now, mid lane is being pushed in by Empire. DC need to respond to this. It's a bit of a scary situation with Metamorphosis. They're going to take this tower really quickly.
Dragonlance is so good on TB. Man.
Keeping him back. Moo has Chronosphere available. They jump in, get the crush. That's a lot of damage. Moo is dead and buys back immediately. Weehaw goes on to King R, the Oracle. Fear of Death comes out. They do find that kill, but now Weehaw ends up getting lifted up from the silence and the sleep and is going to be able to get out of there. So they kill off the Oracle. No saving power now. Maybe they can find a bit more. Saxa moving forward does have no Supernova. I think at this point you just back off if you're Empire, right? Like, Chronosphere is up and you don't have your Oracle.
You kill Moo again in the game.
I guess that's true. Well, Weehaw looking, not finding. They jump on to move. Oh, Silence Gust comes out and he's going to run away for the moment. As Chronosphere drops down, catches onto 2. He needs to get the heck out of there, though. They are starting to do a lot of damage. 3 already dead. Now Moo's still alive for the moment. Resolution getting ran upon by Afterlife, and he throws out another Gust, trying to keep him at bay. Moo trying to save his buddy. A back. They end up being able to do it. Can they actually turn this back around? It looks like it's not going to happen. Now Moo is maybe going to go down as well. On the other side, Misery and Weehaw find the kill. Okay, jump. Oh, first hit bash, because why not? As well as the Earth Spike coming in for Misery. And now Afterlife goes down. So they do still hold. They lost Resolution. They also lost that Phoenix, but they get a couple quick kills.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Empire were telling themselves. What I said if they went back in, they're like, they're probably not expecting us to go back in. And 2, if we kill the Void, we just win the game. But to keep Moo alive, you get off a good Chronosphere, and you get the turner, and they get a bunch more kills on Wii. His Bloodstone's all of a sudden looking healthy again, so a bit of a gamble there for Empire does not pay off, but this game is still pretty firmly in their control. But if the Drow Ranger gets another damage item or something, that's where things could start to look a bit scary.
And I mean, you do have that possibility now. On the Courier is going to be a Yasha for Resolution. I guess that's the one that you previously had, and Moo looks to be going for a Shadow Blade. So Rezo is going to be going back for the Mjolnir, it looked like, eventually. And Storm Spirit with 3,000 gold still available. Okay, they're going to actually have to give up Roshan. Oh, that really sucks.
Yeah, this is the downside of being down a Limberex as well. They have to send somebody back to defend, so Six is going to have to reveal his presence up there.
Well, and that mightn't be enough to keep them from being able to do it. That being said, I don't know if Empire can comfortably try to take Roshan themselves. They're smoked up and gonna walk up the high ground. They blink forward, find Resolution. Moo needs to get out of there. They drop the Chronosphere though. That's a pretty good one, and maybe gonna be able to do enough damage on the backside. Mapochka ends up being able to stay alive for a moment. They drop the Serenit. That's gonna be able to find the kill, and now King R also going down. So they're trying to take down those supports, but it looks like Weehaw might go down as well. A lot of damage being thrown his way. He is going to be able to zip out, but a Blink Dagger forward. Misery brings on Scandal. Can they actually find that kill? He is able to arm with Toggle. They aren't going to be able to get it, but they were able to save the Storm Spirit at the very least. And I was so close to killing off Scandal.
Yeah, but looks like in the end, the prize for Empire is going to be just going into clean up Urshdon. Looks like Saxa going to do his best to try and slow this down.
He has a dive as well as the Supernova, but I don't know if you want to try and... He's going? Okay, no, I thought he was going for the Roche Steel, but probably the wise decision to back out.
So now they have an Aegis up on their Blade for the Metamorphosis again, and then they can try and... Yeah, just try and end this game, I suppose. For DC, what do we got? Wii is not too far away. Item, he's picked up a plate mail, so it looks like he could grab the Shiva's Guard in just a second. If that's what he wants to opt for, but the full Tricore for Empire still just keep picking up bosses, and the Broodmother and the Dragon Knight still have so much room to grow right now. Actually, 2 or 3 more items for both of them if this game tends to drag on.
Yeah, and it is feeling like that sort of dynamic where there's ways for DC to win the fight, but it's very difficult. It's very convoluted the ways that it has to happen. I guess it's actually pretty simple. You catch a lot of heroes in the Chronosphere with Draw Range, you're hitting them, but making that happen is the difficult thing. And it's much simpler for Empire to just sort of, a move up and to the right, and with Terrorblade, they're kind of going to be able to make it happen. Shadowblade, that could be something to turn this, though.
Yeah, it's just so hard to take a fight on Empire's side at this point, with the constant pushing from the Terrorblade and the Broodmother. I mean, we did a pretty good job and forced some heroes back here. Maybe they can get some kind of a catch with the Shadowblade.
Well, looking for it. They do end up being able to catch a couple, and actually a lot of damage being expended. That's going to be a dead Broodmother. They're turning now onto the egg, and it is going to end up going down. Weehaw jumps onto King R on the back lines. Is not going to be able to find the kill. Glimmer Cape too good right now, and he's actually out of mana. This is going to end up being a dead Weehaw. He is going to... Well, okay. All right, blinks up to the high ground. I'll hold my tongue for a moment. He's able to escape. All 5 of DC is still up, but they don't have a Chronosphere, and already looking like they might end up losing these 2 lanes of racks here in the mid. This is a hard hold for them at this stage. They've got to go for something else. That's going to be a Sunder. Still keeping him alive. Resolution is going to be jumped upon, and he's brought down. So Elder Titan finding the kill on the back lines. They're trying to find something here with Moo. Jumping on them with Fuka and King R, but they don't have a great way to stop this. He blinks away. They just don't have the damage.
Yeah, that's another line of X down. Kind of rinse repeat for Empire at this stage. The Oracle has turned out to be the perfect hero as well to save, save team from the current here. This game, Moo, once he picked up the Blink Dagger, once he's picked up the Shadow Blade, he's found pretty much 2 cores every single time, but it just hasn't mattered. They just haven't been able to actually kill anybody off, and I think a lot of that just comes back to the presence of the Oracle. The King R has always been getting off the false promise. Some of that you say, okay, maybe DC haven't been getting the perfect initiation with Weed jumping in right as the Chronosphere goes down and hunting out the Oracle, but even if he hunts the Oracle, then Mopoka is just going to counter-initiate it, so...
Ramses, he's in the jungle all alone. Can they actually find this kill? If they could take him down, they're not going to go for it. They needed the Storm Spirit, yeah. There's no way. I'm still feeling right now like Empire just... They're in such a great position, and it's looking like they're going to be ready to move down along this bottom lane. You've got DC trying their best to keep them at bay, but it's just such a hard game for them.
Yeah, they just can't get past the river. Especially now with 2 lanes of racks being down. I mean, solution. Alright, you can push that lane pretty quickly, but... you have to... Empire are the ones who decide when the fights happen, really.
Shiva's Guard is going to be complete for the Storm Spirit. He has it on the courier coming out to him, so there's bits and pieces that are sort of working into their favor. A larger mana pool as well. We'll see some of those. Yeah, the T with the Shivas. He actually is going to go for Mapochka, and the backline's actually brought down, so maybe they can keep this going. The egg. Oh, they didn't catch the TB in the Chronosphere. Now he just ends up being able to bring it down. Weehaw also caught in the midst of this scandal. Controlled at the moment. Can he get the armor cost to keep him alive? It doesn't quite look like it. They end up being able to kill him off as well. Ramsey's H still in hand. They turn on Afterlife now, and maybe they're going to be able to find this kill, but Moo is just taking so much damage. He's going to be able to hop away for the moment with the time walk. Ramsey's falling low, and there's that just popped. So something at least going their way, but DC, I don't know. I don't know if they can actually find a secondary kill onto him.
They won that fight. Moo burrowing his way all the way through the trees. Secret Agent jumped all the way back, managed to get the back lines, and this time they do get both the T and the Oracle without them really getting anything done. And that's just goes to show that that's what's actually winning Empire these fights. Their cores have been getting chronos this whole time, but they've just always got those defensive supports ready to back them up.
Well, I'm still waiting because there's There's some place for the game to go, but right now Empire just in such a great position, and we talked about it. KB for Ramses, it's down to 5 seconds. I mean, this is not all easy peasy for them as those charges are going to start to wear down. But it really does have to be something where Weeha is taking these right at the start and able to pick off that Oracle, which is also predicated upon DC being able to maintain vision over the side of Empire.
And Wee knows that he has to play really aggressively here. And he can super long zip away, waste a little bit of Empire's time, give his Lion the opportunity to grab a tiny bit of farm there. We're even at the point where he's just gonna... He's level 25, he's doesn't have that much more to farm, he's got his buyback available, so... Gonna give some tomes over to Sax, it looks like that actually gives him his level 16.
Oh, that's good
All
stuff. Right. What a team player we have. Got 19 Bloodstone charges also. And... Unfortunately, I'm sort of waiting again to see how it is that they're gonna deal with King R. The other thing that we didn't talk about a ton is the Glimmer Cape and how effective that's been at keeping his buddy alive as well. Josh been doing a good job of that. Are they just gonna wrap around and... Oh no, this could go really terribly for them. Drow Rangers end up getting spotted. There's Jump that crush and try to go in on the lines. They find the Chronosphere is there on it too, and King R is going to controlled and brought down. So maybe they can continue this fight here. Scale also going to be controlled. A lot of damage being done his way. It is going to end up almost being able to be brought down, but he just ends up staying alive for the moment with the armlet. Now Ramsey left alone. Weeha out of mana. Misery dropping very rapidly. Ghost Scepter is going to keep him alive. He weighed all of this out, and Moo turning on Afterlife. I don't know why he pulled himself there, but they aren't going to be able to punish. He's stuck in the trees, blinks away. They're just kiting this Terrorblade.
Yeah, just playing the waiting game. Metamorphosis about to run out. That's quite a bit of mana.
This could be a pretty good play if they can find him, and there's the jump in, and Misery also feels that they could kill Ramses here. This would be huge. They are going to do a lot of damage, and he is going to fall. Weeha, godlike streak, 600 gold going their direction. Maybe going to be able to bring down Afterlife too. Are DC going to be able to turn this around? They're keeping all the rest of their heroes back to base to deal with the creeps. Oh man, I feel like this is just a scary spider. A very strange fight, but it very heavily favors DC at the end of the day.
And Misery was... I think it must have been Misery because he's the only one. Yeah, he's the only one with the Force Staff. But that Force Staff on the Drow Ranger is actually so clutch. It looked like they were split. It looked like Resolution was a little bit, far away from team for them to be able to do anything. But Misery with a immediate turnaround, I think he in Force Staff the Drow away and set up perfectly for that Chronosphere as well from Moo. Really good response time from DC. Saved the carry there. Oh, he's just going for it.
King R, he is going to die to this, and this is a problem. If you are a Storm Spirit, okay, caught for the moment. They aren't going to be able to find this kill, I don't think. Okay, maybe they do. Alright, yeah, we're not going down. That's 1,000 gold in his direction. And unfortunately, I think that Moo can really go for this. He pump fakes the Chronosphere. There's not enough damage.
Okay, right back up in 27 seconds. Storm Spirit is at the very least going to be alive for that. Should both teams pretty much pull up and ready to go.
Oh, and now finally Resolution has that Mjolnir. That was something I was going to mention, is that on all of those team fights, the Drow Ranger kept on getting picked off, killed, and because of that, there wasn't that big swing of gold into Resolution's favor, and it's been a while since that Eggs got picked up, and just now getting it. How big of a fight item is this for taking on Empire?
I think it's a big deal because the static charge as well is very, very valuable. You can either throw it on the Faceless Void, throw it on Storm Spirit, and they should be able to get in and quick get a bit done with it. The other big thing to mention is that he kind of had to ditch some items and things as well along the way to get to the point. He had Yasha, but ended up just to be able to hold the ag. So that kind of set him back a little bit in terms of his effective net worth, but he's got the now. Still don't see the full Mjolnir just yet, but I mean, I watched him clear that creep wave, and that was pretty crazy. So I think if he just gets to stand still and auto attack, then could probably get a bit done. Also, BKB was super duration now. That magic coming off of the procs is really going to hurt.
I think that they're in a position now where DC, like if they win the next fight, I'm hesitantly saying that they're going to be pretty far in the lead. I mean, you look at this, Weeha is doing 300 and almost 22 damage a pop. But like he can take down these towers almost solo, and you look down here on the bottom side, they've been able to catch out King R again, and he goes down, and they can't really effectively solo kill Weeha. Oh my god, in fact, he might just bring down Afterlife. There's nobody here to help out the spider, and they have to come back and defend against this. Meanwhile, he's just doing damage to the melee barracks over here.
Yeah, we're starting to see the weakness of in terms of dealing with the storm, and if DC picked it up, yes, is the just isn't really that lockdown for killing him off. If he doesn't get dragon-tailed, then there really isn't anything to kill him.
They run into Mu though. They spotted him with the Shadow Blade out, and that might be the signal that they have to get the heck out of here. Roshan gonna end up going down possibly. They don't have a Chronosphere. He bought back. He's gonna try and get into the fight. The Phoenix Sun is gonna end up popping, so that was so close. Projectiles in the air. Ramsey's controlled for the moment. Can Mu get here? He needs to be able to throw out the Chronosphere and is looking for it now. Might be able to catch out too. That's a pretty big one, and now Ramsey's caught as well as Afterlife. They're gonna bring him down. Looking for a bit more. They catch the Earth Spike just on the tip. Scandal is starting to fall. False Promise trying to keep him alive, but yeah, just on a rampage in the background. Look at him go. Double kill already. Maybe going to be able to find a bit more, and now looking for Afterlife as well. Nobody from DC is going down, and Empire is slaughtered in the river. My god. And Roshan's going to go to him as well.
Thinking himself not instantly committing to the Supernova. I think he was still a little bit slow starting. Scandal was already there. He was attacking it away. Ramsey's turned up just a bit later, and that was the hit that they did to stop the Supernova going off. Supernova doesn't pop. All of a sudden, they don't have a spray, came off in Chronosphere, and that very about one more. You will see that they're. I don't know if 100% in, but. And we're definitely swung past, we're definitely more back to even now, I think, in terms of witness. They're still one fight away from losing the game against their, they've only got tier 4s. Make a case for themselves, and we're just getting scarier and scarier. He's got a Hex now as well.
I mean, all of this, it's just, it's really a point in time now is, oh my god, he just jumps in their fountain almost. He's going to bring down King R. Can he get the kill? That is going to jump back, and no way to stop him. The Stomp is not going to connect either. This is Elena Barracks going to go down. Ramsey's, where's your help? He has a ton of damage with this Daedalus, but they've got the control for him, and you look at Weeha continuing to roam around on this Storm Spirit and finding all of these towers. They just do a tremendous amount of damage. And on top of that, the ability, I don't think that Empire can stop him.
They definitely can't. They don't have any items to do it. There's no Abyssal Blade on the bird or anything like that. He can do whatever he wants.
Oh my god, and jumps in again. Hex down. Scandal pops BKB. Mu is going to fall there, not able to get off the Chronosphere. He doesn't have buyback. They might have overstayed their welcome a little bit too long. Draw Range is going to be back in a second, and now they jump forward onto Scandal. Silence for the moment. Man styles it away. There's another silence that follows it up. That's going to be a kill. Dragon Knight's going to go down. Weeha looking for a bit more as all of these barracks are going to start to fall. He's going after Empire Ramses, and they are bringing him low. Oh my god, he's so low, and he is going to finally fall. So maybe stepping too far afoot. Misery is going to get ran down. Pops that Hex and trying to escape, but look at the damage. 2-shot. They need to have those buybacks up and online, and they have them on pretty much everybody except for the Faceless Void.
I'm not sure about going for Vegas in one shot the way they did there, but they still have at least back on. Some still has quite a few Bloodstone charges, so pretty fast respawn. He can at least zip TP one wave and crittings out completely, and he still got still has his buyback reserve. But
oh my goodness!
Crazy
well,
game.
Oracle gets the Tranquil boots, so that's pretty good timings on those 50 minutes. Not something that you always end up seeing. Soxa taking a good chunk of damage here as well, just from the non-metamorphosed Terrorblade illusions. I'm looking at this again. The Mule are going to be picked up relatively soon by Drow Ranger and the Hurricane that we talked about earlier. You're a lot more mobile now, and this is a hero that's still providing all of that great damage, 72 to each and every one of those ranged heroes, and is probably going to be able to survive through the fights.
Yeah, and if he's super safe, he can use Kinetic to push into the Chronosphere as well, which would be...
Oh my god, that's the dream.
That is definitely the dream. Right.
With the bonus attack speed that comes from that as well. Oh man, Resolution is going to be hitting so hard.
Alright, so things back in control. They don't have to extend any backs. These are more or less good. We are still just doing whatever. I feel like this Brood really needs an Abyssal Blade, but it's to make him a little farm out. Travel, they can help deal with this push and get these lanes out. But these are completely flipped on their heads. You know, it wasn't that we were talking about how impossible it was for DC to try and find a fight on the other side of the river, but now they've equalized the lanes of Rex, more or less. They can actually take fights in a good place.
Well, and with the Lincoln Sphere online for the Storm Spirit too, how do you stop them? You've got the Blink Dragon Tail, so as long as you've got eyes on Scandal, you really don't have to worry about getting killed off. Oh, Resolution, you can't get caught here though. They're going in on the bottom lane, which means that Resolution left alone is going to be brought down. The Bird is trying to get out of there. They are still chasing this down. Afterlife maybe going to fall here. Can they find a kill onto Ramses as well? It doesn't look like it, as he is going to end up chasing them down. There's the lift. Storm Spirit still okay. Oh god, but they got the crush. Needs to get out. He's going down again. Another kill going the way of Empire and DC. They were so good a second ago. Now they're starting to fall all across the map. 3 dead in a space of seconds. And Broodmother, the only one that they ended up being able to find with that. A really good smoke from Empire.
Nice grab from them. So you still have those to pull back on. Hurricane is nothing close to respawning. And we'll just kind of back up that a little bit, looks like. But the Empire, on one hand, they want to try to force that buyback, but they don't have meta. And I don't think they can force it necessarily because DC still have Glyph, so yeah, they're just gonna have to back it up. Misery is split pushing and
yeah, that's good stuff. Alright, well, we've got these illusions that are hitting away at this tower, and Leha's gonna come finish them off. Kind of wondering as this game goes on too, like if you do get those next tier of items for Empire, they're all going to be in response to Weak, right? Like that's all those single target disables. So are DC on a kind of a little bit of a timer before those items come out?
I don't necessarily think so. The game is just at the stage where one team going one way or the other is probably going to end up deciding it. I don't even think it's going to end up and get more like we hide. I think instead he wants to continue to build sort of more damage for himself. So maybe get a Titanic, maybe get, could potentially even do it a little bit more. The way that he built going for this against Albert very much indicated that Empire were hoping to hit immediate timing and just the game right there. And I don't think they expect to find themselves in a situation that's actually now in pick off on goodbye. It's gonna keep happening, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he literally zipped across the entire jungle. Like, it was that far, and then just got the hex off. So, yeah, that's the thing, is that you want to push out all of these lanes, but to do that, you either need to commit a Terrorblade, you need to commit a Dragon Knight, or you need to throw out like the Elder Titan. And Elder Titan is not really going to be able to save himself with the hex up on Storm. It's just a very hard game for any of those supports trying to push out the creep waves.
Yeah, TB's got a moonshot now that he's actually keeping in his Ramses, just opting for maximum damage right now. I mean, he could have consumed them, kept like the Dragonlets, but I guess he's realizing, look, if my team is dead, I'm gonna get kited no matter what. So I need to make full use of every second that they give me to actually right-click people down. Because DC really aren't him, he's pretty much always the last one to end up being targeted.
This game just, again, feeling like a bout of insanity as both teams have sort of looked at various stages like they were capable of winning it, and then neither one ends up really taking that separation as of yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm debating right now. Also, is it just like what is it that they're going to be waiting for? One good pickoff, or is it all fighting around the Roche pit? What's your thought there?
Nobody wants to throw, so everyone's going to be playing a little bit conservative. Just want that freak off with no answers, be able to go and make a move. So we're kind of stuck in that stalemate a little bit right now, and I think that's also a fact that it's just a game where neither team wants to be the one, the crucial error that loses the game.
Oh, that Hex, it's not going to actually commit on the Afterlife. They throw out the Earth Spike, and now Resolution dealing a lot of damage. They catch him in the Chronosphere. They're going to jump in on the backside. KR not able to get his ultimate off, and he is going to end up falling as well. They do jump forward and find the kill, possibly. Terrorblade already fought back. Maposhka is going to fall. Now so is King R. So all over the place, Weeha making stuff happen. Misery jump on, force staffed away. Can they find this kill onto the Misery? You're not going to be able to get him. He's actually draining away the mana now. Another Earth Spike thrown out. Misery kiting the spider all over the place, and they find kills. Oh my god, I think the DC might have done it. Afterlife is low. Oh my god.
There's a creep wave mid. Alright, they're gonna go back and with that. We can push that out and still have Boots of Travel ready to join his team, so they're not gonna give TP any kind of opportunity to do some crazy TP into the base and just take their tier 4s. We got the Glyph as well, both teams with Glyph available right now, but this Dragon Knight buyback looks somewhat destined to be pushed out here.
Oh, they jumped forward, but didn't end up catching them. Yeah, there's the buyback, and DC are out of here. They catch the Stomp on 2. They force staff Resolution away since Mu is still under the Shadow Blade, and with Chronosphere about to be back up, I think that they go and just take Roshan now.
Yeah, the Empire desperately want the Roche. They used 3 buybacks. Terrible even consumed his Moonshard at this stage. He really wants to fill the spot the Aegis, because if he goes down now, that's just... If he or the Dragon Knight go down, then that's pretty much the game. Yeah, Chronosphere is back up in just a couple of seconds, so they are ready to fight with that.
Now Ramses hexed, and they realize that this is the real Terrorblade here. They do have Chronosphere again available if they wanted to go for it. Resolution, the Mjolnir on top of them. They end up slowing him down a little bit. Mu jumps in, gets the Chrono on the back line, but we jumped into it as well. He's going to be controlled for the moment, and now Resolution jumping after Misery, and Resolution is going to start to fall. Can they actually find this kill? They've already found one. Rams goes down. That could potentially be the game. Scandal also going to be controlled. I think DC might have been able to do it. Misery force staffed away, and again they have enough damage. The buyback from Resolution. He knows that the game is on the line, and they are going to be able to jump after Afterlife. Still controlled. Oh, this might be enough. Drow Ranger is going straight for the tier 4s while they're chasing after the spider. He drops his Vlads. Please don't take me, take this. GG gets called, and Digital Chaos fight back from a tremendous deficit. I mean, 2 lanes of barracks down, and they're able to take it.
He went ballistic. Yeah, he really did. Like, a little bit of slow start, a couple of deaths after he picked up the Bloodstone, but the Storm Spirit was just such a nice pick game against Empire's line. Just realized, okay, the Oracle and the Elder Titan, you know, it's normally your support slash your